Good evening, viewers, those who are watching us from within the country and those watching us from the diaspora. We are glad you have made NTV your #1 station, and we are also happy that you have made NTV People's Parliament your favorite program. Of course, this is the only platform that Ugandans are given to air out issues that affect their everyday life, affect their communities, affect their countries, and everything around them. This is NTV People's Parliament. It is chaired other than Agnes Nandutu, your speaker. We are in Kwen district in the Sebei sub-region. As you are aware, this is the far east of Uganda, almost nearing Karamoja, and it is one of the hard-to-reach areas in this country. We are yet going to speak about a very important topic that does not only affect Kwen, but many parts of this country, and that is infrastructure, road network. I am told the road network here is very poor, schools are very difficult to reach, hospitals are very difficult to reach, and it has resulted into many problems, including our girls dropping out of school, not only girls, but also boys. Generally, children drop out of school because of these problems. People who are engaged in agriculture are unable to take their produce to the market because the roads are too bad. And we want the people of Kwen to speak about it. Honorable members, you are welcome to NTV People's Parliament. As you have heard, we are discussing road infrastructure. But before I get the ball rolling, I would like to invite the chairperson of Kwen District, the governor. Chairman, may I give you 3 minutes to summarize to us how bad it is, the road infrastructure in Kwen District. Please, you're welcome, honorable member.
I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. But before that, Madam Speaker, I want to welcome you humbly to this district of Kwen. We appreciate government for taking up that it is starting a road which will now connect Kenya from Kapchorwa through Kwen to Bukwa. It has taken a long time. It has been a long awaited program. But at last, the project is ongoing. But we still have problems of road network. To connect, we have 3 sectors in Kwen. We have the Benet area, which covers the south up to Bududa, Manafa. We don't have any road. Then we have the southern, the northern, that is Ngenge, the greater Ngenge, which is bordering Bulambuli, Nakapiripirit, Amudat, Kenya, and then Bukwa eventually. If you want to reach Ngenge, you must pass through Bulambuli, Kapchora Bulambuli, then you make it when it is rainy. But when it is dry, you pass. We have some shortcuts. Madam Speaker, this is an address that is being given to government, but the issue that we get reports that there is no money. That issue, the no money syndrome, is still a problem to a district like us. When we have civil servants recruited, Madam Speaker, that infrastructure of recruitment, they are given jobs, but they are very hard to reach. They are posted to areas where there are no houses for them, there are no roads for them. Even if we gave them motorcycles, it is very hard to reach. Infrastructure, like building classes and health units. Madam Speaker, you come from an area where there is enough material. Any house to be constructed in Kwen, you must go to Mbale, that is Manafa. You get from Nabumali sand, or you get from Sironko. Some qualities, they say Sironko, the sand is not very good. You have to go to Nabilatuk to get the pure sand. So when you construct a house here, a classroom, it is equated to that one of Mbale or Kampala. You are given very little money when you put the transport cost. It is also a challenge.
And yet you vote NRM, is it 100% or 90%?
We vote 100%. I want to encourage you that these people Not all of them are NRM, but most of them are NRM. Most of them, 99%, we have a few of them. We have some Chagulanyis here, we have the Nadalas here. It is good, it is healthy, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we have another challenge. These civil servants that are here. Even Mayara this year is one of the civil servants, including others. No facilitation of vehicles. Those are part of the infrastructure. He borrows my vehicles here. A department must stop some activity for the RDC to move out. Those are some of the challenges.
Okay.
Or I give out mine for him to move.
Teamwork is good also.
Yeah, that is very fine. The last one is, when you are giving people hard-to-reach allowance in Kampala, my people of Kwen have never been considered. And yet Bukwa, Kapchora, who is just this way with the tarmac road, they are getting hard to reach. That is one of the infrastructure that is not covered.
Okay, so it's one of the districts that are hard to reach. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will give you another opportunity. Can I have another?
To make a conclusive one, Madam Speaker,
in
1 minute, only half a minute. These people are smart here. They are not resettled. I have pushed up to cabinet. Cabinet has failed even to present to Parliament to degazette the part of the red line. They are going to talk about red line. Then there is continuous wrestling. Karamojogans, without they have disarmed them, they are still having the guns, Madam Speaker. May you stand up for recognition that major who passed on a plane crash, Madam Speaker, through your chair.
We observe a moment of silence.
Observe a moment of silence. All those who have passed, Madam Speaker, and including Major, who went with me to look for the Pokots who were shot, let us all and others rest in eternal peace. Amen.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We shall continue from there. Can I have honorable member? You are the lobbyist of these people. How have you lobbied and how bad is the situation in the Kwen district, honorable member?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker of the day, fellow honorable members of the People's Parliament of Kwen, and I'm happy that others also from the region are here. Right, Honorable Speaker, I am the Member of Parliament representing this constituency, yes, which is also a district constituency.
Okay. You are welcome to People's Parliament.
Thank you very much. You are also welcome to Kwen constituency, Kwen district.
Thank you.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, in this region, and particularly Kwen, the terrain on Mount Elgon is actually very difficult. That even the cost of making a road is 5 or 10 times more expensive than other roads in other parts of the country. Wow. Let alone the fact that even then we had been left behind for a long time. Kwen district, being one of the youngest districts in the region of Sebei, had been left behind. There were no feeder roads. There was no access road by trunk road. This road that is being made now used to be impassable. Imagine the trunk road itself being impassable.
Thank God it's being constructed now.
Now that it is being constructed, the district is grateful about that one. But we still have difficulty of reaching to the communities. And moreover, the type of topography in Kwen. We have the mountain area, we have here the middle, then the lower side. So in order to connect, what they call interconnectivity, connecting the communities, is still a very big challenge. If you have to reach to the other upper side, you may have no road to it. And even when we have the equipment here, there is not enough facilitation in as far as fueling the machinery. It is not enough. What we get from government as a road fund is very little money. So you can see the machinery here But most of the time, it is just decorating the compound, like you have seen. Why? Because we cannot effectively use the machinery to clear our roads. It is even worsened by the fact that this is a hilly area and we access rains. And those rains wash away because of the mountainous type of our roads. Even when we are making a road, it deteriorates within a month or two. Even if you have graded the road today, you have put maram. First of all, we don't have maram. We don't have good maram. We have something like maram, but not real maram. In some cases, completely no maram. I remember that we even have now a project that is being supported by IFDC, funded by both the district and the IFDC. The project costed about 1.6 billion, as far as I have the information. But as they make the road and it rains, it washes away. Before it is commissioned, the road is already very bad.
So what can be done?
We are talking about if government would provide machinery like a stone crusher, so that, because we have seen this construction ongoing of the highway going to Kitale, we didn't have maram, but they are mixing stone, crushed stone, with soil. So it is another new technology. So if you mix the crushed stone with soil, then you have another form of maram. Okay. So we have been asking government to facilitate the districts of Sebei and Akwen in particular with a stone crusher, to give us an equipment like this, but also with a stone crusher.
Okay.
So that we can also improvise and have that kind of maram. I was giving that example of that project because they are bringing maram from as far as almost the border of Buramburi. So at the end of the day, I did the contract management. At the end of the day, bringing maram to put that road is more expensive than even I've been telling the project manager of IFDC here outside. It is better to do even what they call low-cost sealing. It is better to tarmac that road than to bring maram from Jakpatit, where they are doing. It is very expensive.
Okay,
and therefore, that project is failing. It is failing because of that. While you have put 1.6 billion, but before you commission it, the road is already worse than when it started. So those are the challenges. Okay. The same to the road in Giriki. I was from there 3 days ago. They maintain it every year. But it is always impossible because the 2-3 months down the road, because of the heavy rains here, the road is washed away. So the solution is to go for low-cost sealing.
Okay.
On top of having a crusher.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Honorable Member, I will give you another opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
Can I have another person from this side?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Chelimo Jocelyn, the District Speaker of the Parliament of Kwen. I welcome you to the district, and I think this is an opportunity for the people of Kwen to air out their issues to the country and to the Parliament of People's Parliament.
Yes, Honorable.
My colleagues have talked of infrastructure in the district, and I'm going to touch a few of them. They have talked of the road. In fact, the people who are suffering more are the women of the district of Kwen.
Yes.
The women are facing it very, very rough because when they are in labor or they are sick, these women cannot be transported to the health facilities because of the poor road network. Madam Speaker, the women of Kwen, especially from the upper belt, are transported using donkeys because there is no vehicle that can go and ferry them. So our women are carried in donkeys to reach a facility when they are pregnant or when they are going to deliver, because there are no facilities up there. Madam Speaker,
so by the time he comes from the uphill down,
they can even lose life on the way before they reach the health facility. And in those areas of Bennett, Madam Speaker, I know we are going to handle the issue of resettlement. Because there is no resettlement, so there is no infrastructure in the whole region. There is no health facility in Bennett. There is no school in Bennett. There is no road in Bennett.
General Bennett has nothing.
There is nothing. There is no, there is no education. There is no power. So the whole problem is in Bennett.
Okay.
So unless the government of Uganda resettles these people so that they can be allowed to construct schools, these people are still backward. The effect of no schools, the people of Bennett are still backward. There is no education. For them to bring their children down here, it is not also easy. So, Madam Speaker, there is a need for infrastructure to be improved in all sectors. The other issue, Madam Speaker, we are having in our district some parishes which have no health facilities. They have no secondary schools. And yet, the policy of Uganda says every parish must have a secondary school. Every parish must have, no, every sub-county must have a secondary school. Every parish must have a health center too. Every parish must have a primary school. But you find that in our district, in Kwen, we still have parishes that have no health centers, tools. Okay. And yet government is coming up with a policy that we stop construction of health center tools in parishes. Madam Speaker, to me, I think this is being very biased. Okay. Because you have heard that Kwen has been left behind for long. Okay. It is now this time that we are coming up to construct such facilities. But to other districts, they are already far. I think all their parishes already have all those facilities.
Okay,
but because they are majority now from Kwen and Sebei, they say we come to an end. So we advocate for that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You'll get another opportunity. I think Kwen district is not any different from Bududa, because Bududa is also a hilly place, and generally our teachers and the health workers walk to work. They generally walk to work, and they walk very many kilometers to get to work. I think government should do something to these hard-to-reach districts. Let's go for a short break. NTV People's Parliament comes back shortly. Yes, welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting in Kwen District, discussing infrastructure. As you have heard, the people of Kwen are speaking about the bad road network in their area that has brought many problems. 1.5 minutes, Honorable Member, please deliver your message.
You're welcome, Madam Speaker, to Kwen People's Parliament. My issue is I'm disagreeing with the chairman, LC5. At one time, we received visitors from Kampala who they wanted to give us hard-to-reach allowance. But the chairman, in the other way, he was somehow right. He wanted all the sub-counties to start. But according to the visitors, they said they wanted to pilot with some few sub-counties. So those people were chased away from our district. Then secondly, Madam Speaker, is here in Kwen, especially at Town Council, where I come as a leader, we have been not having power for the last 3 months. When we requested to Meme to help us, they have deceived us right from that time. So our people have not enjoyed Christmas, the New Year, and other activities in the district even here. So, Madam Speaker, we are having poor services from Umeme. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being brief. Yes, Mzee.
I'm Moses Mwangagapche Kwengu. I'm excited, Madam Speaker, because this is a great opportunity for us to speak out our problems.
Yes.
And seek solutions from our government.
Yes.
There is a very serious issue as far as the upper belt is concerned. That means the Benet area. There has been a serious contradiction which has not been solved for very many years. And this has affected the infrastructure, both as far as the network is concerned and other development, the schools, the health centers, and so on. The infrastructure is non-existent. The reason is this. The British government gazetted that area into a forest reserve in 1936. Unfortunately, they didn't develop the area. When we got our government in 1962, it was expected a change would come. Unfortunately, the status quo continued. This is very unfair. The status quo continued like it was the case before. But we stood up. The Benedis stood up and aired this problem. When we found out that the government was not listening, we went to court because there was nothing we could do. People were declared landless on their own motherland. Members of People's Parliament. To declare you landless, and yet you are on your motherland. You have been there since time immemorial. It is a serious matter. Because it is against humanity. So when we explained this to court, the government said, no, they have a point. Let's go and solve it outside the court. They called it consent judgment. All right? We went outside. They promised to settle those people like Honorable Speaker was saying here. They promised, that was in 2005, they promised to come and settle those people and put their infrastructure because we deserved it. We are citizens like any other citizen in Uganda. Unfortunately, so far, they have addressed the issue of 6,000 hectares. I'm not saying wholly, but something is being done in the 6,000 hectares. Because, Madam Speaker, these were altogether 8,500 hectares.
Okay.
All right. So what the point I'm making is that the government, having done that, they only, through act of parliament, passed the 6,000 hectares. But they have not passed the 2,500 hectares through the act of parliament, so that I should be understood properly, so that the infrastructure can be put there. Because as we talk now, people are there, people have been there, they have been promised, but technically they cannot put their infrastructure either as a road network or buildings. Why? Because the thing has not gone through the act of parliament.
Okay.
All right. So my very strong appeal, members of parliament, you are here. Let us all stand up, because the government has already promised. We have been there. The ministers came, said that you deserve these things. But now, what is it? So many years down there, there's nothing. No infrastructure, nothing. There is nothing. So I'm requesting People's Parliament here to resolve that if the government doesn't come out quickly, we all of us go to Kampala and see the problem. What is the matter? What is the matter? What's the problem? We are citizens who have been voting for this for nothing. We deserve, so that we can vote favorably. Otherwise, the voting can be, Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, we find a very big problem in terms of when we do the bid opening.
Okay.
Like we request like when we want to construct the schools and the health facilities in those areas, Madam Speaker, when actually we look for the contractors to come in and to help us to construct these schools and the health facilities, it becomes a very big problem. We don't actually get these contractors in terms, they say, the money that is sent from the center is very little, like the grant that the district receives. This is the school grant, school facility grant that the district get. To build a two-classroom block, it costs, the ministry sends the money, that is worth 67 million shillings. So when the when we actually get a contractor to go and build these two classrooms, they find a lot of problems, like the materials. You've been told that the materials are ferried from Bale, from Sirongo, from Manafa. At the end of the day, the contractor fixed a lot. When you go out now to inspect the schools that were constructed 2 years ago, or the health facilities that were constructed 2 years ago, all of them have cracked. It's a very big disappointment that all of them have cracked down, and it's actually a very big disappointment to the district, and it is actually a shame. So my appeal, Madam Speaker, is the ministry should send to us money that is for a hard-to-reach area like Kwen for our contractors, such that they should not be mixing a lot of sand. If they say that 2 to ratio what, at the end of the day, these buildings have cracked down.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
so we
you.
need the government to give us enough money.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. So there is need for enough funds because construction of roads here is quite more expensive. Can I have you 2 minutes, Honorable Member?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am by name Chelanga Dorcas, District Councillor representing Ngenge Sub-County. Far down in the lower bells.
That is Ngenge.
Ngenge Sub-County.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, if we talk of infrastructure, as you have been told, Kwen District has 3 major three major parts. We have the lower bell.
Move closer to the microphone.
We have the lower bell, the middle, and the upper. In the lower bells is a very flat area whereby, as a result of this heavy rainfalls, all the water runs to the lower bells, and all the roads in the lower bells have been washed out. For example, roads have been washed out, including bridges. We also have some sub-counties which have been divided. Another part cannot access the other part because the bridges have been washed away. For example, we have a sub-county called Sundet. The other part cannot access the other part. And in those areas, Madam Speaker, some women who are in labor cannot access services from the other side because there is no bridge completely. The bridge has been washed away. So my appeal is that the government should do something, should also provide Kwen with some mobile bridges, like the one which was put in the main road going to Namalu. Is it Muyembe Namalu Road? There is a mobile bridge which has been constructed there. If we could also be provided with such mobile bridges, I think the road network in Kwen could be somehow better. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. The people of Kwen are speaking. The infrastructure is very poor, and they need government to come to their aid. Let's go for a short break. NTV People's Parliament comes back shortly. Welcome back. You are still watching your favorite program, NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Kwen District discussing a very important topic, and that is infrastructure. Without infrastructure, there is no development in a place. So the people of Kwen are saying, please government, the infrastructure is very poor in the district. 1.5 minutes, ma'am. Closer to the microphone, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and the floor. My name is
Closer to the microphone, ma'am.
My name is Lydia, LC3 chairperson, Maoksa County. All has been said about infrastructure, but here I'm on the health unit. Here we have Cabroron Health Center 4. But most of the time, our women die on the way when being referred to Kapchoro main hospital. We have been singing of Cabroron Health Center 4 to be uplifted to a health hospital. But all in vain, this has not been done as yet. So our problem is the ambulance even. Even in Cabroron Health Center 4, we don't have an ambulance to transport the patients on referral. So my thing is, our singing of the Health Center 4 being uplifted should be captured by you people, and this thing should be known by the whole leaders of Uganda.
Okay.
We are in problems.
Thank you.
And the thing of saying the health center tools should not be in place is wrong, Madam Speaker. It is the health center tools which are helping us in the interior because the roads are not all that worthy.
Okay.
So to my suggestion, I think the health center tools should still be in existence, mostly in Queen. Maybe in other areas they can be abolished. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The mother has spoken. And the call to government is that the health center tools should remain in Ikwen district. You have 2 minutes, Honorable Member.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Cherop Henry Steve. First of all, people have been talking about the health facilities. First of all, mine is the government should improve on the health facilities where mothers deliver. Because we have the facilities where mothers deliver which are very poor. At the end of the day, mothers resort to DPS. And a DPS, of course, when a mother...
Traditional birth attendants.
Yes. When a mother delivers there will be a lot of negotiations and resulting to female genital mutilation. They will negotiate there.
So because of poor infrastructure, the mothers go and deliver at the traditional birth attendants, and at the end they mutilate them.
Yeah, there are a lot of negotiations there.
Very unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Then the other one is the education background.
So, what you mean is these traditional birth attendants are also surgeons of FGM? Yes. They should be arrested, their family.
The MP has really talked about the stone crusher. That one, the stone crusher, sometime back when he was the chairman of LC5, we went to Kampala. And we requested for stone crusher, even only one for the whole Sebei sub-region. The government was saying it was very expensive. And by the way, it is very expensive to put madam every month, every year. It will be very expensive, other than bring only a stone crusher for even Sebei sub-region.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Let me give him an opportunity. Those who are making noise, my sergeant at arms is very keen and he's looking at you. If he tells you to go out, please don't blame him. Thank you. You have 2 minutes.
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm Honorable Kiplim Alfred, coming from Khartoum sub-county. When you talk of infrastructure, what comes in my mind is all about the people who are Ugandans and people who are not able to help themselves, like a person like me. Now, first of all, when they are giving us these government structures at times, we have a challenge of accessibility. When I talk of accessibility, I mean to say that people, when they construct government structures, they put there a lot of ramps, where the ramps that are put in those structures are not access to people with the disabilities in our communities. That's a very big that's a big problem I have. Another problem is in the hospitals. Madam Speaker, you find that they give also services to the hospital, but when you reach there, you find that there's no adjustable beds that can help people with disabilities to climb as they deliver their babies. That is another problem we have in the hospital. And it is the government task to ensure that when they are supplying services to the units, they ensure that they also cater for special interest groups. Another challenge, Madam Speaker, is when it comes to also employment opportunities in the government. You find that when somebody is also a graduate and is a disabled person, they are not access to government schools at times, because I find there that it is hard to reach. It is also difficult for them to go and teach, because when you get a teacher who is trying to go and teach in the school, you find that the place is very sticky and he cannot manage himself to go and teach in that unit. So we have that challenge, and even the young ones, we also have that difficulty. So I was requesting that, if possible, we need here, as you have heard from our chairman, LC5, you have also heard from our member of parliament, we need here a very special school for people with disabilities so that they can solve their problems and solve their problems once and for all, because we are all moving at the same level. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you. Thank you. Please.
All right, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. My name is Lamin Kasim. I just wanted to give information. Government, through the office of the RDC, have been running a documentary on all the affected infrastructures. You know, Madam Speaker.
Speak to the people, please.
You know, Madam Speaker, of late we had a lot of rains in Sebei sub-region. And most of the infrastructure, such as roads and schools, there was a lot of wind that blew most of the roofs, that most of the roads were affected. Government, through the office of the RDC, which is the one monitoring most of these programs, we've been running a documentary of taking pictures of all the affected roads. We went to the roads of Kapsego, we went to the roads of Mulungwa, we went to the roads of this other branch area, and then up to the other side of Greek. By last week, we came up with a documentary of all the affected roads, because we looked at most of the roads which were there were purely in a condition that was not good. So we have finished the documentary. We have made recommendations. We have compiled the whole document, and currently, actually, we submitted the document by last week to government on the state of roads that are within our district.
Okay.
That is the information I wanted to pass, so that they may not say that government is not doing anything.
Okay,
thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Can I have the lady here for 2 minutes?
Madam Speaker, I'm Honorable Kakwecha Madina. I represent Kabroron Town Council and the sub-county. You are talking of infrastructure. I wanted to submit an information which was delivered by the chairperson LC3, that is Moyok. What she forgot, the only theater that we have in the district is within the Hellas facility of Kabroron. But unfortunately, when they built, it is the government which committed to build, but it is incomplete. We so far have 2 doctors in the district, but are not working, they are not operating. Mothers are dying, especially on labor. By the time you transport a woman to Kapshorwa, the time frame, women die on the way. So my appeal to the government of NRM, as all Ugandans voting.
And I can see you are NRM.
Okay, plus. So, Madam Speaker, my suggestion to the ministry or to the government is put for us the theater in a place and ensure that the district hospital is given to this district. It is the only district which has no hospital. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. The NRM member is asking the NRM government to provide services. Thank you. Can I have the RDC, the representative of the president in this district, to give us the closing remarks? What is government doing? The people of Kwen have spoken out. What say you, government?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Dennis Ephraim.
You know, when he speaks, it's the president speaking. So when you promise, please, you deliver.
Please.
Speak to the people.
Resident District Commissioner Queen. First of all, I must appreciate the opportunity I've given the people of Queen to have the People's Parliament and to air out their views. And I'm very sure after this, we expect a better Queen, especially now that everybody is going to view us and appreciate the challenges we are facing. Yes. But I want to say that we also need to appreciate the government for the appreciation and making Kwen a district. Can you imagine how it was before it was a district? Which conditions were it by that time? Madam Speaker, I want to appreciate that you have some origin from the mountainous regions here. But I want to tell you that Kwen, I think, is the worst amongst these regions. And I want to imagine how it was before it became a district. Because it can now handle its own issues here. Especially as far as regards roads, it has been terribly bad. People traveling from Mbale, arriving in Kapchorwa by 5 when it has rained, 5 p.m., you cannot get to Kwen. Because the roads are bad, even a 60-wheel drive cannot come to Kwen. I want to thank the government.
We appreciate the district.
I want to thank the government that they had our prize and have given us Kapchorwa Swam Road. That's a big tick. It shows that the government is really concerned and is aware. I want to appreciate that the government has already launched the construction of Muyembe and Kapiripiriti Road. You find that in the future, we shall have better networks. The challenge we have today, which government is tackling now, is the interconnectivity between the upper belt, the middle belt, and lower belt. Like previous speakers have said, I think some of these districts need to get bigger budgets as far as road works are concerned. You cannot give the same budget on road on works, the same budget of money of my district of Namutumba, and the same money to Kwen. You can't. This one has three variables, whereas in other places you look at the width and the length as far as the dimension is concerned. In Kwen, you must look at the height as we're calculating the cost of a road per meter.
Thank you. So you are going to deliver this
which
message.
I'm going to deliver, which I've already even put in my recommendation, that as they get funding for Kwen district, Sebei, especially in general, they must increase on the funding of roads, which I think government is going to take up. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. The RDC has spoken. He's going to advocate for the increment of the budget for infrastructure in Kwen to be raised a bit. Thank you for being part of this parliament. Because of time constraints, we cannot continue. And we shall, the government has had, wherever you are, the Minister of Works, the President himself, for those ones who are around you, you have had the problems of Kwen. This is NTV People's Parliament, and I am your speaker, Agnes Nandutu. As usual, I aspire to inspire you before I expire. With powers conferred upon me as the Speaker of People's Parliament, I adjourn this House until next Saturday. Thank you.